It's a gorgeous early autumn's morning, banks of the River Severn, just downstream of Shrewsbury. I've got a quick window of opportunity today to get probably about 3 hours on the bank. So I've come to a club stretch. I haven't got time today to film a venue guide or to visit a day ticket. There's a Severn, looking absolutely fabulous. I'm going to make my way up this stretch, find a likely looking peg. I'm looking for some slack water, possibly a decent crease line. It's probably going to be a load of colour in it, so it's going to be a day for smelly baits. Got mist over the fields ahead, sun rising behind me. It's a gorgeous looking day. Hopefully we can pick up 1 or 2 barbel. Just quickly before I set up, I've had a couple of messages recently where people have been asking me what I bring to the bank. So let's show you what I've got today. So firstly, I've got my Korum lightweight aeronium chair there. Got my bait bucket, ground bait riddle in the top. I've got everything I need terminal tackle wise in the transition rucksack there. Clips on the back. I've got a Progress unhooking mat there. And then I've got one of the new Korum quivers here, 3-rod quiver, plenty of room on the inside there. I've already got a couple of rods with me today. I've got my net inside there, and then on the inside I've got this handy pocket here. Got my graphite brolly shelter, and there's enough room in there even for one of my tripods as well for my camera. So that's a good bit of kit, loads of room. And just on the back, there's my bank sticks, landing net poles, and everything else that I need just to secure my rods. Well, very quickly got the brolly up because conditions had changed a little bit. The wind's got up, cloud cover. I've been looking up and down the stretch for 20 to 30 minutes just to get an idea of where's best to set up today. So this is where we're going to start. I'll show you the peg in a little bit more detail in a second, but the brolly's up just to give me that bit of shelter for autumn. Rods are out down there, net, camera, bank sticks, all ready to go. Let's get the lines in the water and see if there's any barbel down there up for a munch. So here's the swim we're going to fish today. Inside of a bend. You can see all this slack water out in front. The Severn's rising. It's not exactly flying up, but there is some extra water coming down. So I envisage this slack on the inside here should hold a few fish today. I'm going to spread a couple of rods out in here, see how we get along. Not going too far out there, but there's no real crease line or anything out in front. But it's probably about 4 rod lengths out, something like that. Nice little drop. You're definitely not happy today, mate, are you? Right, let's just pay out a little bit of line. So that's the upstream rod out. Downstream rod, just going to target similar sort of area, similar length out off the bank, just a bit further downstream. Feed the same line, so the ground bait, the attraction, the scent goes down the river in a coordinated fashion, and hopefully that'll set us up nicely to do bites on both rods. Here's a quick look at the setup I'm using for today then. So I've got the Korum Camo Bolt Run kit there, down to a Korum river feeder, 4 ounces in size. I've got a hook length in 8-pound Flurocarbon that's about 3 to 4 foot long. Got a size 8 wide gape in there, a couple of 14mm pellets, and a PVA mesh bag of the same flavoured pellets, 4, 5, 6mm, something like that, just to go out as loose feed. I've got some multi-purpose ground bait today with some mixed size pellets running through it, a few lumps in there, but I'm not too concerned about that. And I've got my PVA mesh bags here, 4, 5, 6mm pellets that I made up last night just to make time on the bank as efficient as possible today. We're going to clip one of those on with every cast. So I've got my regular 7 setup with me today, 1 3/4 pound test curve barbel rods, 4000 size bait runners, 12 pound main line. Great for these conditions. Sorry if there's any wind noise. Try and limit that as much as possible for you, but there are some gusty, windy conditions that have come in. It's brought these clouds in, burnt that early mist off. I did have a good look up and down the stretch as I mentioned before I've set up. I think I'm on the best spot here for the conditions. Lovely slack water on the inside. Lots of colour in it. Just depends whether those barbel are up for a feed or not. I would have thought there'd be some fish held up here in these conditions. The 7's gone up by about 2 foot over the last 24 hours, something like that. Washbridge gauge, it's on about 1.5 meters, maybe just under a couple of feet. Let's sit tight, keep those recasts going. Fresh feeder going in every 15 to 20 minutes at the start of the session, just to build the swim up. Get the smell and attraction of that chilly hemp out into the swim. And hopefully the barbel will move in. So here's my setup for today then. Unhooking mat, water bucket, got my tripod there on the side, chair, all my bait and everything ready to use, just to hand. Wind's getting up, as you can see. That'll just give me that bit of shelter. Now the temperatures are dropping off. Let's pan round here. There's the rods. Hopefully that first bite's not too far away. Feels like we've got a snag in this inside margin. It's yeah, this has gone tight, this has. Let's try and get a different angle on it. Yeah, well, I think we've got this moving again now. It's good news. Yeah, it's definitely out of the snag again. Nice bit of perseverance there. Just took the line up the bank. Gentle bit of pressure from the opposite direction. Yeah, there we go. Well, nothing huge, but that'll do us for a nice little start. Well, just dealing with that first barbel. Downstream rod is absolutely tore off now. Double take time. Always good fun. So first barbel's just resting in the net down there. Caught by me. Took about half hour, 40 minutes for the session to get going, but a couple of bites. That's what we need. Just got to be conscious of this snag again on the inside margin that the first barbel found. So there's a few lunges off this fish here. It's trying to get down into the undergrowth that's below the waterline here at the minute. Let's take a few steps over just so we can get to the net. That first barbel's still fine in the net down there. Just carefully take a step down the bank here because it's really slippy. Yeah, there we go. Pair in the net. Go on. Oh, here we go. Double take time. Top one was a smaller one. That was the first bite. It's probably 5 to 6 pounds, something like that. And then downstream rod on the bottom. That's a slightly bigger one. Probably 6.5, 7 pounds, something like that. Gorgeous pair of barbel. So very quickly, let's show you both of these barbel. Just conscious, don't want these out of the water for any longer than I have to. There's the first one. It's probably about 4 to 5 pounds, something like that, to be honest. Little splasher, but very nice. And then on the upstream rod, these have had a good rest in the edge already, so plenty of life in them. Ooh. There we go. Upstream rod, tad bigger, lovely condition. What a great pair of barbel that is. Yeah, there we go. Well, that was a lively little 10 minutes there. So the barbel moved in. It took about 30 to 40 minutes, probably 3 or 4 recasts on both rods, just to build up some bait on the line that I'm targeting. I've made sure my casts were nice and accurate, so the bait's all gone down the same line. They've obviously found that. Bites on both rods, which is just what we want at the start of the session. So I've not got too long, as I mentioned right at the start. So I've probably had about an hour now by the time I've dealt with those 2 barbel, got them rested, got the rods back out. So yeah, hopefully there's a chance for 1 or 2 more yet. But yeah, it's great to come down to the riverbank, short notice session like this, and I've not got long, but to get a couple of bites nice and quickly, yeah, really good. Just pays to take that time to pick the right swim at the start of the session. So yeah, never come to the bank with any preconceptions about the peg that you want to go into. Always have a good look first. That's my recommendation. The river's different every time you come to it. Conditions are always changing, definitely around autumn, winter time, where the level's quite volatile, up and down. So it always pays, in my opinion, to have a good look. And I think that's paid off for me today. So yeah, let's see what the rest of the session brings, and hopefully we can nick 1 or 2 more yet. Well, this left-hand rod, a couple of big bounces over the last minute or so, and the line now has been dragged right into the edge, so loads of leaf matter coming down, which is always sent to test at this time of the year. But let's get that rod refreshed, back out on the spot. Just make sure we're giving ourselves the best chance of picking up 1 or 2 more bites. So it's about another hour gone by now since that last barbel, since that double take. No further action on the rods, but I'm keeping the recast going nice and frequently just to keep the scent going down this slack. There is some flow out there. Normally at this time of year, I'd move across to fishing leads, probably drop the feeder, but in these conditions here, this slack that's out in front of me, there's not that much flow, so the risk of getting your ground bait washed straight down the swim, I'm probably feeding the minnows and whatever else is out there, but it's the scent and the attraction that's the key thing. That's what I'm looking for, just to try and pull the barbel in to find the hook baits. Probably do another 2 or 3 more rechucks. I've probably got like 45, 50 minutes left now, something like that. So wish I could stay a bit longer, but just commitments at home, unfortunately. My lad's got a football match, so I've got to get back for that. Work's been really busy for me. There's been a few people messaging me, asking me when the next video's coming out, and I'm sorry I've probably not got as many videos out this season so far as what I would have wanted, but I was away for quite a lot of the summer, had a big trip away with the family, and yeah, work's just been really crazy, and got a busy family life as well at home, so it's just difficult to get time on the bank, unfortunately, or as much time as what I would like on the bank. But just got to grab these windows of opportunity when they arise, like today, try and take advantage of it, and I'll try and bring you a video as often as I can over the course of the rest of the season. I did mention in the last video actually that I would have thought that the next one was going to be on the Trent, but that session got cancelled. The Trent got literally washed out. It's about a week before the Barbel Masters. Huge amount of water went down the middle and lower Trent sections, so that put pay to that session, but I'm going to get up there over the next few weeks again, so we'll see what that brings. But we'll keep an eye on these rod tips now, and hopefully we can trip one more up before the end of the session. Well, only a short and sharp session today, but I love being on the banks in autumn. Conditions like this are perfect for barbel fishing. It's my favourite time of the year, so even though it's only been a couple of 3 hours today, we've got a result out of it. So it was well worth the effort on my part to get out onto the bank today for such a short session. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Good luck with your own angling, and I'll see you on another one again soon.